Alright guys, welcome to episode 12 of the Gran Turismo 4 Let's Play. We are on race 5 of the GT World Championships. Today we are at El Capitan, and last time out I did not do too hot in this race, so I'm excited to get a second chance at it with the Minolta instead of the GT1, which again, if you guys didn't watch last episode, I actually recorded all the way up to episode 13 and just had so much trouble with the cars having tire blowouts. I went back, scrapped all of those episodes, re-recorded episode 11, which you guys have probably seen. The way I had this set up is I originally didn't intend for it to be this way, but I decided I'd do a World Championships week. So, as you guys have seen, every week, every episode so far has dropped one day after another, which is something I don't do. But I just got so far ahead in recording, I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a whole week out of this. Every day is going to be like a prep or a World Championship episode. So, and I have it timed perfectly where at the end of the series of the World Championships will be on a Saturday. So, all in all, let's get right into El Capitan. So we're currently running our third setup, which is the 1200 horsepower big turbo on the endurance tires. So this car's probably going to get a lot of wheel spin off the line. It's running on hard tires on the rear. A little bit. I don't really think it's going to be that big of a problem, though. So we got 11 laps here at El Capitan. I am already... Whew! Man, that was a slide. The vertigo in third for once. So once these tires get a little hot, that'll be very useful for me. Oh! The Nissan playing a little dirty. Lots of limiter from the other Minolta. Ooh, lots of walls there. Playing freaking Gran Turismo pinball. Look at that. Oh, this turn got me so bad during the original run through. I gotta kind of learn how this car handles this track versus the GT1. Dare I say, this car does better out here than the GT1 does. That turn is still going to be a bit of a pain for me. So I apologize for if I'm a little bit quieter than I was last episode. I've got a really bad headache, but I was like, if I'm going to do a Gran Turismo week, I need to sit down and film 2 more episodes. So that's exactly what we're doing. So I apologize I'm a little bit quiet this episode and episode 13. Because like I said, my head is splitting. So, got to be kind of quiet. So, I've got the volume turned so low. It's a rare occasion, but I can actually hear myself over the game audio, which is something I don't typically do. Because I actually, believe it or not, actually hate hearing how my voice sounds. So, I tend to kind of try to make sure I don't hear myself commentating whenever I'm playing this game. But I just got too bad of a headache to play the game at full blast. I know for you guys it's unaffected, but for me I've got my system audio turned down pretty low. Ooh, coming in fast to that turn there. It looks like my strategy is working out well. I didn't really expect the hard rears to be really something this car liked very much. I kind of expected it to have a lot of problems with spinning, but it's holding up just fine. I think I'm coming in way too fast to that turn, though. Apologies for my tablet going off behind me. Several times. My girlfriend is spamming my TikTok right now. Fun fact, I'm on TikTok. But, she sent me a lot of stuff. 7 notifications. That is unlike her. Anyway, focus on the road. Focus on the road. I can acknowledge her TikToks at the end of the race. But, yeah, this car's great. I like the Minolta. I drove it briefly, I believe in 5 or 6. And I thought it was good. I still think, in terms of looking better, the GT1 is the more attractive car. But this is fine. Ooh, lots of understeer. Hit that wall. But it looks like my strategy of using the hard rears is going to pay off pretty well because the tires are still bright green. Not a lot of wear. I just realized I haven't used the nitrous at all. Slow down a little bit here. I do wonder, maybe if I can get a decent lead, I will full throttle that turn and see what happens. Lots of understeer there. Could have entered that turn a bit better. So far, the 1200 horsepower setup is holding on strong here. Ooh, did okay at that turn. I didn't hit the wall. I'd rather be kind of slow on exit speed than hit the wall. Oof, little grass there. See how fast this car gets on the straightaway here. Good gosh, 240 miles an hour. Man, came into the first turn at entry speed of over 220 miles an hour, which is just kind of wild to think about. That this is a car from the late 80s that is going 240 miles an hour into an opening turn on a track that is meant to be like, you know, kind of a road in a park. This is El Capitan takes place in Yosemite National Park. I think it's awesome. Works out good for my girlfriend. That's like probably her favorite part about this game, is that this track takes place in one of her favorite national parks. My girlfriend's a big national park enthusiast, so definitely one day I want to pay a visit to Yosemite and see, even though this is a fictional racetrack and I doubt that anything here is real, kind of see what kind of roads are around El Capitan and kind of, you know, be like, yeah, I've driven on this road here, you know, in the Gran Turismo 4. It's funny. At the beginning of the Let's Play, I don't think I've talked about a lot of the tracks I hate in this game, but this track was on the list. I've never really been crazy about this track up until recently. In fact, when I was first recording episode 12 yesterday, with the GT1, I fell in love with the track. I mean, I think it's just a fun track, and now I see why some people want El Capitan back for Gran Turismo 7. So we are a little more than halfway through the race. Oh no, that's not good. Okay, glad I am quite a bit ahead, and that spin out, while it did slow us down a good bit, it wasn't like the end of the world. I was just caught air. See, I got knocked off my momentum, and now I'm making mistakes. The track does have a lot of like hops. I forget the word I heard that was used for it. Undulations, I believe, is the word I heard used. The car hops around like crazy. The road is very, I guess, uneven. There we go. A little bit of open throttle action, a little bit of braking coming into that turn, but not as much as I did a couple laps ago. I'm curious if this is going to be like, dang. This is not a good lap, guys. Those rears are turning a little yellow, so I think we got probably like 2 or 3 more laps out of them, which I think is good, because I think I was actually pitting on this lap with the mediums on the car. Yeah, I did, because I distinctly remember that's why I blew out in the last lap in the GT1. It's because I was running mediums, and I was on this lap having to pit. So we're already doing much better than we were last time out, because I'm able to get an extra lap out of this car without having to pit. Ooh, lots of understeer going in that turn there. Oh, that did not handle that turn very well. I could have done a lot better with that turn. Lots of wheel spin. I will say, this track is very hard on tires, that is for sure. Oh, that was not good. That's not good. Not good, not good. Pinball, pinball, pinball. If I had to guess, I'm probably going to get through lap 7, and that's what I mean when I pit, which is fine for me because that is plenty of laps. And I think that I will be perfectly fine with holding on to a lead here. Because they're probably going to pit lap 8 or 9. So even if they do get around me, which is a possibility, I mean, I am a good bit ahead, and they're on kind of the slower section of the track. But there's still a chance they could easily catch up to me regardless, but I guess I just have to wait and see. So entering our last lap on this set of tires. I think these boys are spent enough. We're going to get through this lap here and go ahead and put her in the pits and get some fresh rubber on this car. A little bit understeer. That front right's getting a little cooked. That's the first time I think I've seen the fronts on this car get used up in the World Championships. I think I'm thinking that this track with all the hops and stuff like that is putting doing work on these tires, especially the fronts. Or maybe it's because it's a faster paced track and there's lots of spinning and lots of understeer. Yeah, we've got a massive lead over the Minolta in second. I doubt we're going to lap it this time around like we did at Seoul, but I mean, it'd be cool. I'd love to lap that car. I felt so... Oh, no. I felt so good about lapping that car last race. I was, like, jumping up and down a little bit at that. All right, got to be careful. Looks like that back right is getting a little wrecked up. Don't want to push it and blow out because that would be bad. Luckily, we're close to pit lane. I don't think we're going to have any problems. But I think there is now a elevated possibility of them catching up. Ooh, about did the same mistake I did in the original take. Ooh. That was a little scary there. But I think I'm probably not going to have enough time to get out of pit lane before they catch me. Maybe I will. We'll see. Listen to that idle, that chop. Such a good idle. We might be able to make it. We might make it. Oh, gear first. We're dropping the car down. They're going to be ahead, but not by much. There's the R9, which I'm sure both it and the Minolta are going to be getting ready to pit in the next couple of laps. Ooh. The Nissan is just no match for this thing, guys. Coming in very fast. With 3 laps to go. Ah, in the dirt trap. Cold tires once again. This thing is great, though. I'm enjoying this car. I'm trying to get these tires nice and warm so we can get up to our maximum potential on the grip side of things. This car definitely has plenty of muscle behind it. Let's see. What does this Minolta do? Is it going to pit? Yes, it is. And yeet. Right back in the lead where we belong. Ooh, that about hit that wall at 200 miles an hour. That was almost horrible, but we are about to lap the Vertigo. I don't see lapping the Minolta again as a possibility, even though we are quite a bit down track, and we happen to catch it right as it entered pit lane. But, yeah, I mean, it's already coming out of pit lane. So, I mean, lapping, I don't see a possibility unless it just unless the AI just absolutely gave up on life. There's no way I'm, like, going to be getting around it. Alright, 2 laps to go. I think we are doing fantastic. And in the dirt trap again. Alright. I need to really master that turn right there. Oh yeah, this one too. And this one. Alright, here we go. The back half of this track is fairly simple, I think. I don't see it being a problem here. We're about to catch up, I think, to the AMG. Oh, bad spin out. Oh my goodness. Dang, we were coming in there very fast. I think I took that turn just the wrong way and it spun the car out. That was very fast. All right, I need to get my bearings straight again. Goodness gracious. This track is hard on this car. But again, I'm driving a 1200 horsepower 80s Group C car. I mean, it is going to be rather hard on it. All right, make sure we don't go in the dirt trap this time. I see a glimpse of the AMG CLK GTR up there. Lots of understeer. Oh, goodness gracious. This track feels so slow in other cars, but this is a really fun track for prototypes like this. All right, take this turn wide open. That was a little bit of a rough turn there. Okay, now we're entering the slower part of the track here. Try to stay out of the dirt trap again. About got in there. Ah! That turn's going to be a struggle for me to learn. A little bit of limiter. Ah! Ah! This back half of this lap is going pretty bad, especially with last lap being a fresh reminder. Alright, close it out with a little bit of the giggle gas. Let's get out of here. Passing the finish line at 236 miles an hour. As the AI enters the car into turn 1 way too fast. Oh, wait, they got it down. But yeah, one lap ahead of the AMG and the Vertigo is kind of crazy. Of course, I kind of have learned to always be a lap ahead of those cars. So we're getting ready to move on to our next race, I believe race 6, which is New York. And I'm probably just going to keep the exact same wheel and tire setup on this car. Or not wheel and tire, but, the same tire setup and the same performance setup, keeping the 1200 horsepower build. Because this track is strange, because it's got, the long straightaway on the front, and then, all the little 90-degree turns. I think that's probably going to be where this car struggles a little bit. And that's why I'm running the endurance setup, is because on the endurance setup, this car just seems to be just unstoppable. So I think running that is going to be key here. All right, here we go. New York, race 6 out of 10. Not too much left to go here. I think episode 13 and 14 are going to be our finales here, which is going to be kind of crazy. I think we've got a really solid points lead. I don't think that that's going to get squandered at all during this. Here we go. coming into turn 1 rather quick, but we are going to get a bit of a bump on the CLK GTR there. That's going to send it into the wall. Ooh, lots of spinning there. We got the 2 Nissans and the Vertigo ahead. Kind of surprised to see the R9 up here struggling to get around the Vertigo as I just went right past him. And the Vertigo smacking the wall as I did too. See, this is my concern. The GT1 had a lot of wheel spin here, and that's why I wanted to run the endurance setup. It's because I know this car's going to get some wheel spin until it heats up those tires. And I struggle to catch up with the Minolta here, so seeing we're like right on its bumper at the end of lap 1 is kind of good for me. Hey, we did pass over 200 miles on this car, which is cool. Oh, no, I hit that wall. It's a good thing I have nitrous. Looks like the Minoltas are leaving the race. That 1200 horsepower, though, is just exploding out here. This lead is something else. Braking a little early. I need to start learning to brake at that 100-meter sign instead of the 150 or 200-meter sign. Whichever one that was. That's going to cost me a lead. Trying to stay off the curbstones because this car gets popped up so easily. Trying to get close to him though. Look at that. Bye. That extra horsepower this car has over the normal Minolta on this setup is just dangerous. This might be the setup I just run for the rest of the series. I don't know how Sarthe is going to play out. So I might stick on the racing hards for the rest of the series and just kind of keep a high power setup unless we get on a really tight technical track again, like a Hong Kong. In that case, probably switch to the lower horsepower setup this car runs. This car just rolls out. Doing pretty good so far. Lap 3 out of 15. So 7.5 laps will be halfway through. I'm curious to see how many laps these tires last. I honestly think it was lap 6. Because again, I was on a blowout on lap 15. So if I had to guess, it was lap 6 when I had to pit in last time. So I think until about lap 8, I think we will be fine and dandy. And I really don't see that being too unrealistic. I think lap 6 we're probably going to be mostly okay. Right. Ooh, I may have started braking a little late. Four and a half minutes into the race here, and we're doing really good. Yeah, I need to start slowing down a little bit later this turn. Am I going to lap the Minolta this race, though? That's a kind of a question for me. I've got a giant power advantage, and watching how Seoul played out, New York is really just a slightly bigger Seoul, and with a lot more technical turns. that I really don't like that much in comparison to Seoul, which is a fairly simple track. For me, New York is kind of a mixture of the George V Paris track and Seoul. It's got like a lot of like the same like very sharp turns and the weird roundabout kind of turn that the George V has as well. But with like the long straightaway and the slightly larger size of Seoul. That's just my take on New York as a track. Ooh, a little bit of a snap oversteer there from the car on the brakes. Well, actually might be able to catch a glimpse of the Minolta here on the back straight. Not really. I think we kind of got to the more spectator-filled part of the track by the time we got close to it. Much better that time, braking a little bit later. So we're on lap 5. The tires are starting to get a little yellowy on the rear end of things, so I think we're doing solid, because I'd be getting ready to pit next lap if I were on the mediums on this car, or on the GT1 for that matter. Ooh. Probably will eventually replace Set C though, which is what we're on right now with this car, with the crazy high mile per hour build that the Minolta is kind of infamous for. Ooh, more of the snap oversteer there from the car. Also in second gear. I need to get into the higher gears. Oh yeah, getting to slow down at 150 versus 200 is the move for that turn. This is a bit wild. Alright. Alright, my last turn here. I might be able to get to lap 8 on these tires. Oof. Really bad turn 2 there. Ooh, came in a little hot there. Still managed to pull that off though. Bit of a weird hop there. far, so good. I think we are doing absolutely great here. I think getting to lap 9 is going to be something I can manage on these tires. Really good stuff. I mean, we're doing great. These turns are vicious on this car, though. Just lots of getting up to speed and slowing right back down. Getting up to speed and slowing right back down. I mean, it's like you're barely... Like, this is a really technical track for a track that's got so many long straights, having technically 3 straightaways. Ooh, way too fast in this turn here. Alright, so we're probably going to pit at the end of this lap here. Got a little bit of a wheel spin there from third. Definitely going to be pitting in on this lap. Could I probably make it through lap 10? Maybe without a I don't know without a blowout, but we're gonna play it safe though. We're going to pit on this lap. Lots of spinning, lots of drifting. Not really what this car's meant for. We do have a rather large lead, so I'm not entirely sure how these next few laps will play out. Whether the Minolta will wind up pitting. It looks like the Vertigo has decided to pit in. Yeah, it's starting to go. We're going to go ahead and slide into pit lane's DMs here as we yoink. Yep, there's the Vertigo. Hello, you've been lapped. We might be able to make it before the Minolta passes us. Gear 1, let's go. Put me down. Let's get out of here. Off we go. Yep, we managed to get out ahead of the Minolta. Looks like the Minolta may have actually pitted in. That's just bad for him, because that's just going to open up a can of worms, and I'm going to be able to really get away. Looks like it's just the Gillette Vertigo and the AMG Silke GTR that are out on track right now. Minolta's exiting pit lane, I believe. Try to catch back up to the Vertigo so I can re-lap it. Oop, man, some cold tires. Last turns here. A little right-hander right here. Cold tires are making it a little difficult here, but on the main straightaway, we would open this thing up and hopefully pass the Vertigo. Yeah, that pit stop for the Minolta definitely opened up the door for me to really get away from it. And the Vertigo smacks the wall, and I get ahead. Well, I said every time I'm behind that car, it smacks a wall on this track. Ooh, popped up on the curb a little bit there. I wanted to see what it did back there, but it's not keeping up very well with me. Looks like it did tap that one a little bit. All right, and back to paying attention. Ooh, lots of spinning. A little bit of a bonk there on the wall. Three laps to go on the race. Just woo, too fast. Barely made it out of that turn. Vertigo was able to eat that first turn up. It was probably just boom right in the first turn wall. I think it did actually. So it just always hits this wall. Ooh, that was a little sketch there. This track is just so technical. This is a long race too. Like, seems to be this the thing of the GTWC is like you get really long races. Like, I get they're trying to be realistic, but goodness gracious, it takes forever. Half tank already burned up in this car. Goodness gracious. So I know 24 laps would be asking a lot of this car on a tank of gas. I guess this tank will use a lot of miles, but at full throttle at least. I'm wondering if this car is probably the least fuel efficient thing in the world. I don't even think the GT1 was really close to half tank in this game on this track when I was going through the first episode, even with a tire blowout and just constantly being at red line at that point. Alright, I think we've got the CLK GTR in sights here. So get ready to enter lap 14. We are nearing the end here. 2 laps to go. I'm going to draft off the CLK a little bit as we get close to lap 14. We set our best lap in this lap too. I'm scared to see how lap 15 is going to go because I'm going to open this thing up and I'm really going to go for it on lap 15. Try to set a new best lap with the nitrous and everything because this car, it gets moving once it's on spray. And I think lap 1 or 2 I used the spray. We got it up to 240 something miles an hour on the main straight, so let's make sure I'm not on the limiter every 5 seconds. Understeering. Off the curbs in a little bit. Not really what I wanted to do there. Ooh, this back half is always going to be like this. This section of the track is going to be a nightmare for me. Setting a really good lap though. And ruined it right there. Alright, Time to put down a really good lap. Final lap here of New York and of the episode. Let's destroy this. I'm gonna really focus here. I'm trying to get the fastest lap I can put down. Too much limiter. I don't think I'm going to get it. Nope. Man, that sucks. I was really pushing for a best lap there. Alright, though. 20 minutes and 41 seconds there on the New York race. We're a lap up on the Gillette and the AMG. I wasn't able to catch either Nissan or the other Minolta that's in the race. I was really hoping I would catch it, because I would have loved to have taken the lead from that car and just been like, ha! Or not taking the lead, but lapped it and be like, ha! I'm still faster than you. Let's see what's next, because this was as far as I got in the original run. I don't remember. I think there's Suzuka and Grand Valley are two tracks that are still left. I know Sarthe is still on the list. That's one race I know is coming up. So we are on Opera Paris. Okay, so this is going to be a tough race. So prepping for next episode, I'm going to go ahead and put the lower setup on the car. Instead of running the, screw it, we're running the full 1160. I think we're just going to go for it. We're gonna push this car. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the GT4 Let's Play. Next races, we got 7 and 8. We've got Opera and I believe Suzuka are next up on the list of tracks. So we're going to be pushing it with this car going the full power on Opera Paris, because this is a really technical, tight track. But we're just going to send it and see how the car does. Hope you all enjoyed this episode, though. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content coming soon on Gran Turismo 4. And I will see you guys next time. Stay tuned tomorrow's episode. And yeah, take care, guys.